and
Teal.
You know what it is, man. You're locked into Third and Teal where they keep it real. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Third and Teal, baby, and I'm out. Let's go.
What up, Duval?
That was so dead.
Duval, what's good with you?
So,
Oh.
as always, let me turn this camera down a little bit. I don't know why it's so far. Hold on.
You grew.
It's your boy Isaiah, and all my cleaning supplies in the back. And yeah, I'm here. It's Third and Teal, baby. Isaiah. Oh,
I love the title.
all right. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
man.
Yeah, been waiting for this show, so I'm in good spirits this evening.
Okay. And what about you, Mr. Trouble?
Oh, we cooking today, baby. We cooking with peanut oil now. We putting some weight on the offensive line. We cooking.
Okay. Well, man, ooh.
Whoa, Lord.
I had to go play some flag football earlier today, and I played softball yesterday. Man, I'm wore out. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. Trevor's been doing all that easy stuff over there, but
Yeah.
Woo.
Doing light stretches. Hey, you know what's crazy? Side topic, real quick. It'll be quick. When JSO, which is obviously Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, when they do a light stretch, their workouts are so brutal. They have to bring an ambulance in every fucking time. There's an ambulance at the front of the building every time.
Damn.
And I've seen them haul people out of there just in the 3 months I've been there over 5 times.
Damn.
These motherfuckers wanted to be drill instructors so bad they could taste it.
That's what it sounds like. but we ain't gonna go any further than that. Isaiah, what's going on with you? How you doing, man?
pretty
Mr.
good.
Athlete.
I gotta shoot. I gotta be up tomorrow, and I got a 5.5 hour drive up to North Alabama for a friend of mine's wedding that I am a part of, and that should be fun. Work's good. Flag football, softball, I've been doing all right. Flag football, I've been killing it. I had a catch today that everybody, like even the other team was high-fiving me, like, "Oh, dang, dude, I think you'll catch that." And I said, "I got hands." One of them was like, "It was the gloves." I said, "Hell no, bro." I said, "You know how many catches I caught before I went and bought myself a nice pair of gloves?" But yeah, it's been a good time, man. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's just living life. Moving in this house has been a lot, but my internet's better, which is nice for the show. And yeah, it's been a good time. I've been enjoying myself.
I feel you on that. They putting fiber optic in right now.
Oh hell yeah, that's what I got now.
That's
they're
what I
digging the roadside, so
Yeah.
life should improve greatly around here for me. Thank God. But all right, hey Isaiah, I texted you about this earlier, and I texted the group chat about it earlier. I kind of made a brief comment, but it's hard for me to talk during the day with things going on. But Mekhi Becton. Okay, I think we should kick it off there before we get into who we did sign. Talk about someone that I think that I would like to see us still sign. Mekhi Becton's a stud, first of all. When they grabbed him from the Jets and moved him to inside instead of outside, they found out who he really is meant to be in an offensive line structure, because bro went to the inside and balled out. I mean, so the Eagles can't come to a conclusion with him, at least not as of right now. And I think we brought in a lot of solid pieces, which we'll get to in a little bit, obviously. But Mekhi Becton is one of those certified, like you know what I mean? You know what you're getting. You know you're getting a dog. And we let Scherf walk, as we should have. Okay?
Yeah.
Ezra Cleveland's solid enough. I don't hate Ezra Cleveland. But if I'm looking at this correctly, we brought in Which one of them was a right guard? Patrick Macari, right? No, Macari's a multi-piece. Macari played everywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
Macari plays everything, but we are bringing him in to play guard.
Well, if he plays guard, stick Macari at the left guard, move Ezra as a backup, and put Becton as our right guard.
I mean, the question is though, is Macari better than Ezra Cleveland?
Well, it
Macari's a very
doesn't matter because Gladstone said earlier in his today in his press conference that Curry gonna start. He's a starter.
Well, yeah, he's starting at right guard.
Yeah. So
which sucks because that means absolutely no Mekhi Becton.
It doesn't mean that. It just like
I mean,
we probably won't though. I mean, at this point, I think we're done.
I would agree.
From what he said today, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we might get like some very like maybe like we might get a couple more like mediocre pieces. Let me turn this fucking.
Yeah, like spazzing on you.
I mean, because you looked at all the people we signed, the majority been offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I will say he did what he told us he was going to do, and I appreciated that. Gladstone's exact words were, "We're going to raise the floor with free agency, and we'll raise the ceiling with the draft." And he did that. He did that. I mean, I don't think anyone can hate on him for what we've gotten in free agency. I'm not hating on him for the fact that we didn't get Mekhi Becton. I'm not. I wanted Mekhi Becton because obviously he's a dog.
Right.
He's a dog. And we need someone in his position to be a dog, you know? We've dealt with mediocre already. Macari kind of reminds me of what we thought Scherf was going to be when we got him. Scherf was good. We thought Scherf was going to be all we needed to tighten that side up, and we were fucking wrong. So I'm not saying that Macari's going to be that way. I think Macari's better overall. I think Macari will be better. It's just, again, I would have liked to have really seen that certified Becton. We know Becton's him, you know?
Right.
One free agent signing, though, I want to ask your opinion on. I got to ask your opinion on this guy.
Okay.
Dynamic Brown.
Great pickup.
Let me ask you about, can you pull up his stats real quick?
Yeah. I was gonna say really quick though, because before we move on from so Ezra Cleveland and Patrick Macari are basically the same person. One of them, they can both play like basically everything.
Right.
But Cleveland is a year younger, 2 inches taller, 7 pounds heavier. Macari had a 60 grade from PFF. Ezra Cleveland had a 64.9 grade from PFF. Macari edges him out in pass blocking at a 70.3 to Ezra Cleveland's 67.8. And then Ezra Cleveland edges him out in run blocking at a 59.7 to a 58.1.
So and made a lateral move.
900 and, well, technically no, because they're not playing the same position. But
no, I mean,
but that brings up the floor, though. I mean, who do we have after him? Blake Hance. But, and then they got.
I agree with that. The floor
they both
got raised.
They both had over 900 snaps. Ezra Cleveland had 1 penalty and 4 sacks allowed. Macari had 1 sack and 14 penalties. So, like, realistically, in terms of yards, they probably even out. Of course, I wouldn't rather that many more penalties, but I'd definitely rather more penalties and less sacks. Yeah. But 14 is kind of a lot. But
it is. But I mean, I'm not here to hate on Macari either. You know
no. But I'm just saying, like, him and Ezra Cleveland are basically the same player, except Macari can play center.
Yeah, and I don't hate Cleveland. I think I said last year a bunch too that, like, I think Cleveland was one of the only acceptable pieces other than Mitch Morse, really. Everybody else was just a fucking turnstile. That being said, like, I don't hate Macari. I don't. I like the signing, actually. I really do. I like the signing. Versatility. And if we got Becton, great. You know, Ezra becomes good depth or something like that. Even little. I don't know. I don't know how you work that specifically. That'd be a problem to figure out for a second time. But I think we've been talking about this whole offseason, though. We need a staff where it doesn't matter how much I paid you. I want the best guy on the field. I mean, like, fuck the money for a minute. I want the best player available. You know what I mean? Where obviously we know this is still a business. We know that stuff still comes in, you know. But the grand scheme of we've been saying the whole time we want the best guy on the field, and the best available lineman is still available in free agency. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not asking an ungodly amount of money that's just not tolerable.
That's
Now
the part
that
right there.
now that I can see, and
That's
I
the part.
haven't heard a single number come out of Makai's camp that says what he's like ballparking, like what he's looking for. I
Right.
haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen estimates and what people are estimating him to get paid. But regardless, I feel like if we could put that deal together, I feel like that should have happened. But other than that, you know, I'm comfortable with free agency so far. I mean, with Dynami Brown,
Right.
Chuma Egdoga.
But what did you want to know about Dayami Brown? You told us to pull up the stats.
Well, Dynami Brown. So when hold on 1 second, let me look this up here. Let's go to ESPN. Okay, 2024 regular season stats.
Yeah.
He had 30 receptions,
Yeah.
308 yards,
Right.
1 touchdown. He's
Right.
only averaging 10 yards a catch,
Okay.
which 10 yards in a catch is not particularly great, but it's not horrible.
It's a first down.
It's acceptable.
I mean, it is when you realize that most of his catches came on screens, and he had what 7-something yards after catch.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I haven't gotten a lot of time to watch tape on him. I can just see literally, like, I hate being the guy that just reads the box. That's why I wanted to ask you guys, because the box stats don't look that good. They don't.
And
but that doesn't mean he's not that good. That's why I'm asking if you guys have gotten a chance to watch up on him, because overall, I mean, what his highest receiving year is this year, and it's 308 yards.
Yeah. Well, one thing too though is he played really well in the playoffs.
And that's where he got noticed, really.
Yeah, and one thing about him that I will say, in my honest take on Dayami Brown, I don't know enough to say that he's going to be like, I can't say he's going to be the number 2 here, or like he's going to be amazing. You know, like I think he's coming in. He's a solid 3. I think they plan on burying Gabe Davis whenever they draft. They might not, but I hope they do. What's up, Robert?
They're going to.
I think Dayami Brown is a.
What's good, Robert?
I think Dayami Brown is a very athletic, mid-sized frame receiver who got buried on a depth chart with Terry McLaurin and what's his name? They had another guy over there that was pretty good, Curtis Samuel, and like he is a solid guy that got buried on a depth chart with other stars and people that are perceived to be stars.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, I mean, you know, he had Sam Howell throwing to him, and then he had Jaden Daniels in his best year came with Jaden Daniels. He had 38 targets, caught 30 of them for 308 yards. His average depth of target was 7.5 yards, which is pretty low, honestly. But he still had 7.6 yards per catch after catch. And he runs
he is fast. You can see that.
Well,
you can see that from the sum tape.
He's 6 foot, 195, 200 roughly. I mean, he's a solid built receiver.
The only thing that concerned me was that, regardless, right? I understand there are situations for everybody that don't play out well. You know what I mean? I get that. But you're going into your 5th year now, and you don't even collectively have 1,000 yards between all of them.
Once again, it goes back to who was throwing to me.
Yeah.
What team was I on? You know, and a whole lot.
I would say last year, Sam Howell, or was it last year? Was the year before that Sam Howell was actually on fire for like 8 games?
Year before the year.
Yeah.
It went last year. Yeah.
Yeah, well then 22. And in 22, he only had 143. Like, I'm not saying he's bad. I can't obviously make a determination. I don't know him well enough. I think we gave him a lot of fucking money for somebody with these stats, though.
Well, I mean, you know, once again, as Gladstone was talking earlier in his thing, it's a flexibility type of thing, you know, and because when they did it, I was like, who is this guy and why they're picking him up? Then I thought about it. We don't know what we have in Keelan Robinson as a returner, okay? So he can be a returner. That frees up Parker Washington to play the slot. Now, as long as we're going to get T-Mac to put on the other side of BTJ, man, we got a hell of a receiving core.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do that.
But I mean, that's just my thought process. But that's why I think they really went and got him and he can be put in the slot as well and the screens. And so
he's really
very flexible. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks very physically gifted.
I mean, and even if you put him on the outside, man, he still got the speed to take the top off the defense. So they have to respect that, which frees up BTJ even more. So I see the flexibility.
I mean, with it too, though, you got to realize, I mean, they had Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel in 2023. They had the year before, they had the same Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. Like they had some pretty solid guys in front of him. But in college, he was really good, and I think he's been solid in the NFL when he gets the opportunity. I just think he's another guy that kind of got buried on a depth chart by dudes who may have been fringe just a little bit better than him, so they really didn't scheme much up for him. But he showed this year that he can definitely get open and get downfield. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bona fide number 2 or anything like that. I definitely think he's going to have to earn his stripes here. I mean, $10 million is really not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. And one thing I do like about free agency so far, and I said this on the free agency recap from Tuesday, I think it was. It's like none of these moves stop us from getting anyone. Like,
right. No, they don't.
Like none of these moves, we have not paid anyone enough money to say that we don't get if we have a trade or a rookie or somebody that we want. Like they all have outs after 2 years. We have them like $3.5 to $4 million this year and like $8 million next year. It's like we really don't owe these people a lot of money, and it's not enough to stop us from drafting somebody ahead of them. You know what I mean? That's the thing is like people talk about like Robert Hainsey and how he got beat out by Graham Barton. I mean, Graham Barton's an inch taller and 20 pounds heavier. And they drafted him in the second round of the NFL draft. I mean, and Hainsey had a lot of flexibility. He could play all the interior positions, and sometimes it's better to have a guy like that, even when they're good, to help them train up the young guy, put the young guy in front of them, and then whenever they need him, put him in at guard or center or wherever else.
Gladstone said, if you want to see why we signed him, go and look at the game from New Orleans where he started last year. He said, look at that game and it would tell you why we signed him.
Oh yeah. No, he's good. I mean, honestly, he's really good. Like and that's the thing too, is like he is very good. I honestly think the Bucs probably should have at least given him the opportunity to start the whole year.
Y'all ain't right now, the big guy in the house.
Yeah, the owner's here. The commissioner.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I will say I like the way that he structured all these deals, because I think that's one thing that I don't think people are talking about enough. Like what you just mentioned, Isaiah, is that we're not landlocked into any of them.
People are freaking out about them, but not because of the money, but because they're 3-year deals, and we just can't escape the 3-year deal. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they're stupid. They're not looking in. You got to read a little bit deeper. They're not.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, because I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like,
they're not Gabe Davis bad.
Balky was decent at managing contracts. I said, but Gladstone them even better right now at doing it. Because like you say, we haven't overpaid for anybody really.
I don't. The only one that I question the money, and I've already said it. I mean, the only one that I question the money a little bit was Diami. But also, I think Diami Brown lowers the chance of us going to get T-Mac.
I don't. Because I still say if T-Mac is there at 5, we taking him. I mean, you got BTJ on one side, it's his second year. Then you bring T-Mac in his first year. They grow together. Man, that's a hell of a with Trevor to 2030. Think about it.
It would be electric. I agree.
All over again.
I just think they're gonna. If I'm Gladstone, obviously, you're looking at Diami Brown for his physical stature, not his stats. Because clearly the stats aren't there. That means you got to be looking at him for his speed and his playmaker ability, and you're just believing that they haven't had the opportunity to unlock him yet.
Have you heard Gladstone's talk from today? So he mentioned today, they asked him about Diami Brown, and he said, you have a guy, he has the opportunity to come in on a 1-year prove-it deal. He's got the opportunity to come in on a 1-year prove-it deal, and he may be somewhere else next year if he plays well, Like he was very non-committal to like we brought him in to keep him long term. They're bringing him in to help us out this year, one season, $10 million, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that much money. And like in terms of NFL, of course, but you know, it's like, I mean, he literally said it. He said, hey, like we're bringing him in for a 1-year deal to see what he can do. He may be somewhere else next year. He may be here. We'll have to see. It's like he was very non-committal to like we brought him in to give him a deal and then give him a long term. Like he's 100% on bat with. So if they do get the opportunity to get to Tyrone McMillan there, I mean, I see no reason why they don't take him unless they feel like they can trade back and get either him or like Tyler Warren. Still a little bit later.
You still don't think like the possibility? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily a fan of this particular decision, but you see all the mock drafts still have us taking Mason Graham.
Yeah,
I'm not against it.
I'm not either. I'm not necessarily against it, but I would rather have T-Mac, in my opinion. I've said that at the beginning.
So I'm not against it. I think that Mason Graham makes us better.
You're right, Cedric.
Than how we are. And the reason I say that is because I think the one thing that people aren't talking about enough is that people are just, Mason Graham, he's so good. That's why we need to draft him. Like, not necessarily. What Gladstone and Liam Cohen have shown is that they have absolutely zero loyalty to anybody that was here before they were. And so I think there's a good chance that if we take Mason Graham, I think that we'll probably see Hamilton released or traded. Same thing with Eric Armstead. Because Hamilton's at his out. So we can get out of Hamilton's contract right now and be fine, if I'm not mistaken. Eric Armstead, we got 1 more year. So basically what's going to happen is they're probably going to go ahead and get rid of D-Ham. Because honestly, once you have – I would love to keep him here, but once you have Mason Graham, he fills that spot. You have Mason Smith as your other big, which honestly Mason Smith can play like the big D tackle, big end role if we need him to. Now I don't want him playing end a bunch, but like every once in a while in a package for a big package, sure. Mason or Jordan Jefferson, they're going to give they give him that. Who's to say we don't draft another D tackle? Honestly, this draft is pretty deep in a lot of positions.
It is
not necessarily in terms of like the ceiling isn't exactly as high as previous drafts, but this is definitely a lot longer of a draft in terms of like productive, good talent in the later rounds.
With third round, you can still get a great guy. Fourth round.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that Gladstone and Cohen are doing exactly what we wanted them to do, but people are mad that they're doing it now. They're coming in, they're saying, hey. This is us. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm Liam Cohen, and I'm James Gladstone. And like, if you were here before we were, unless you're Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, or Trevor Lawrence, we don't give a fuck about you. And that's how they should be, honestly. And Brian Thomas Jr., of course, but that's more recent.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. And Cedric, by the way, you're also right. And the way that you're hitting on the loyalty thing, it's like we said last week. It's the whole. I'm going to make my business moves before I establish relationships.
It's what the Jaguars fans have been wanting for years, and they finally got it, and now they're upset about it because we got rid of Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk.
I just don't think they understand what it is that's happening in front of them. Like, and the point I make with the T-Mac thing, it's not that I don't think that we still could take him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I think. And it's not that I think even that they're going to be like long-term committal on Diami. What I'm thinking is, and this is just a possible, like, I'm not saying that I want this to happen or that this is absolutely going to happen. It's just a possibility is that, like, okay, you're Gladstone. You're looking at this guy as a natural abilities. He's got natural abilities. You can see that. He's fast. He's got the stature. He can fly. He can absolutely fill the other side of the field. He can. Will he? We don't know, but he can. So what you're thinking is, I paid him for a 1 year. That can buy me. I can use my first round pick to beef up the defense because we did a lot of work on offense in the free agency.
Mm-hmm.
I can still take some picks on offense, maybe the second, third round if I need to. But first round, I'll probably get Mason Graham or a corner. So, whatever he's thinking there on the defense, whichever one he prioritizes, right? And then worst case scenario, Diami doesn't work out the way you want to. You draft your receiver first round next year. You know what I mean? Or you draft, something like that. I'm not saying that it's going to happen that way, but I'm saying I can see Gladstone. Gladstone is very transactional. You can see that right off the rip with him. Like he is very, this is give and take. There is no personal. It's not personal. This is business. This is going to be give and take. And that being said, hold on. If the Pats get Mason, T-Mac, or Travis, is your pick. That I agree with. We've said that too. We've also said that, Cedric. We feel like that if Travis falls to him, he's gonna take him. I don't want him. No, we did say that a couple weeks ago.
No. We ain't said that. I never once have said that I want to draft.
No, we didn't say we wanted him. We said that if the Pats took Mason Graham, basically if Mason Graham or T-Mac were already gone, that was the hypothetical that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. It's like if they were already gone, and then the only one that really fell to us, we could either trade back or we end up with him. It wasn't like, yes, we want him. Because personally, we've all said we don't want him. We think that he would end up being cancer to the locker room for the most places.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of picks. And we have 21 picks over the next 2 seasons over the next 2 drafts without trading again.
Right.
A lot of picks. We're coming in, and it's really, it's a really good situation for us. I think that the free agency class that we had makes us not desperate at any one position. Now,
agreed.
Do we need to upgrade? Absolutely. But it doesn't make us desperate to do so. We don't have to reach on people. We don't have to try and force things to happen. We're no longer with someone who's going to take the biggest, longest, fastest guy, because that always works out. It's going to be interesting. And again, I like Trayvon a lot. Brian Thomas Jr. coming to Jacksonville, great choice. He made some good picks. I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't made any, but at the same time, though, we got some guys that actually the one guy we just got, he just drafted 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates from the same school in the same class.
Straight up.
Also
Puka Nacua.
He drafted Puka Nacua. He was a big part of that. It's kind of crazy how people are just neglecting the fact that in the past 2 years, this dude has drafted 3 finalists for Rookie of the Year things. It's cool. It's really cool to see.
He's clearly a talent evaluator.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The majority of the fans' problem is they're so used to us doing a splash during free agency every year because we always looking for that 1 or 2 piece. To now, we got somebody that really is using the system the way it should be used.
Yep.
They're perplexed about it. It's just blowing their mind.
It's like we said, Isaiah said it actually last year. Isaiah said it perfectly last year. He said that we've always had a toxic trait of we try to fill our biggest needs in free agency by overpaying somebody big ass money instead of drafting someone that should go to that spot and developing them and let them become what we needed from the beginning. Right. And that being said, that's what I'm saying. People have been complaining they need the change. They just didn't realize what the change was. This is the change that we needed. Just watch. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm sitting here trying to guarantee to the people, that this is going to work. There's no guarantees that any of the shit he just did is going to work. There's no guarantees, okay? There's just not. But what we do know is we have never gone into a draft on a solid platform. We're on a solid platform right now. The shakiest part about our team right now, I would have to say, is still our corners because we signed one. Okay, our corners and our D-line needs some rotational help, but that's still a solid platform to stand on. We're going into this draft. We can actually be somewhat picky for the first time in God knows how long. That is what you need because when he's over here drafting for the Los Angeles Rams, he's looking at it like, I've got a good defense already, got a good offense already. How can I make them better? That's what he just did for Jacksonville. Literally, I just saw a news article headline a couple hours ago. Jacksonville teaches Texans how to go and build an offensive line. We did. No, it's the first time.
You're right. You're
Cedric, you're absolutely right about that. If Gladstone was our GM before, Aiden Hutchinson would be a Jaguar. That's an absolute fact. That I believe with because I feel like everyone knew that was a general consensus, and Balky just went with who was bigger. and I believe he was listening to the noise about Aiden Hutchinson's arm size. Like people were knocking him for his width, his wingspan, stuff like that. It was stupid shit that should have never. Sometimes you can't listen to the bullshit. You just got to look at literally what's right in front of you. And we've all unanimously agreed that was the general consensus. He was the one. We love Trayvon. No hate on Trayvon. Trayvon's still a great player, but that was a home run, a give me to draft Aiden Hutchinson, and we fucked it up. So, I guess you'll have that on the Trent Baalke jobs. But when you count the linemen, we've got 1, 2, 3 linemen. Yeah, 3 linemen.
Free agent?
Signed 3 linemen. Yes, sir. 3 free agent linemen. I love that he was
2 tight ends, right?
The 2 tight ends, yes. And they're both they're going to be just big body blockers.
Right.
Yep.
So we put an asterisk by their names.
Mm-hmm. And then you look at Jordan Lewis. I want to talk about Jordan Lewis for a second with you guys, actually.
Yes, please do. Let's talk about this.
I want to get your opinions on Jordan Lewis because some of the stats are ugly. Some are ugly. And then some of them are like, I like the attitude I've heard about from him already. The way he talks to people, I really like that. But let's see. 2024, he had 1 interception, 1 sack. He had, let's see. Let's go to ESPN. Let me look at this for you.
But Trevor, while you're looking at that, sometimes you have to look beyond the numbers and go and look at the film. I mean, I know that's what he said he had, but if he was locking down the slot, yeah, he's been in the league for what? How long?
Since 17. Yeah, I didn't realize he was 29.
But yeah, as I was saying, some certain times you're not gonna get on the stat sheet, but you're still doing what you do exceptionally. Now, a lot of players have spoken about him and said he's a dog.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. I've seen that they've said like that he's got a pit bull mentality is exactly what was said about him.
Right.
That he's a little pit bull, but
other players don't say stuff about you. You ain't doing what you need to do.
Correct. He had a big year tackling. He had a big tackling year.
That's why they want him in the slot, nickel-like type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because Gladstone also talked about Jarian being outside. He said either one of them, really. But I can see Jarian moving outside. And
Jarian needs to go. I want to see Jarian go outside, and I want to see him draft Azareye'h Thomas. If we can snag him in like the 4th round, maybe even the 3rd, if it's like late 3rd. I don't remember where we pick in the 3rd, but I'd love to see them snag Azareye'h Thomas. We picked 2nd in the 3rd.
No, we picked twice in the 3rd.
Yeah, we picked twice, but we're 1 at the top, and then it's bottom, right? Or is it top?
It was the Vikings, so probably pretty low, or probably pretty high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if we can snag Azareye'h Thomas, I'd still 2 picks in the 3rd. Yeah, I'd definitely spend 1 in the 3rd on Azareye'h.
Yeah.
I spend 1 in the 3rd on Azareye'h. Put him back with his buddy Jarian. Jarian's a dog. Azareye'h was a dog too. I mean, Azareye'h did the same thing that Jarian ended up doing the year that he came to the league. No touchdowns allowed. Not one. So that's not easy to do at any level of football, other than maybe high school when all they do is run the ball because most people still don't have a developed passing game.
On that road right now with his flag football team. Isaiah, the dog on the team.
Isaiah's dogging. He's like, I'm dog walking. Boy, what's up?
I got hands. That's all it is.
But yeah, you make
correct,
a lot
Cedric.
of trouble.
Correct.
It makes a lot of sense.
And then I will say though, when I'm trying to find the gradings, I can't get PFF to load for me right. But I want to say he was like low 70s is what I want to say. But I know he had one stat. I think it was like 100+ passer rating against him for some specific stat. It's only 1. So again, still an improvement for what we were giving up last year. He's definitely going to be an improvement over Monteric and fucking Darby. I mean, he'll definitely be an improvement over those two. Just by the fact that he can tackle.
Well, Monteric can tackle.
Yeah, but Monteric's never in the damn place to tackle until 10 yards later.
It's that other clown that can't tackle, Antonio Johnson.
That clown, man. Yeah, he's that other clown. Man, Antonio is so tragic too, man, because we all wanted Antonio to be so fucking good, bro. He just
Antonio be around there tackling ghosts and carrying on. Who the hell you tackling, dude? Really?
Antonio just be on that bullshit. That's what Antonio be on. Antonio's on that bullshit.
Hell, we keep him another year. We're gonna have to call taps in and ghost hunters.
He's got 10 interceptions in his entire career. He's got 10. The highest he's had in one season was 3 in 2021. So he's not a ball hawk, but hopefully they just don't try him enough to be a ball hawk. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard to say, though.
Then again, you have to consider the defenses that he played with too.
I would think that the guys that he was playing with would make him a target, because at the time that he had 3 picks, that's at the same time that Trayvon Diggs is an interception leader. Trayvon Diggs is just dog walking people. They're not throwing at that guy.
But but they throw at him now, but not then.
Yeah, of course they do now.
Yeah. Well, you know.
We know how that played out.
They figured out what his weakness was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being too much of a damn ball hawk. They just double moving.
All you got to do, you put a little arc on that ball and let the receiver step inside one time. He's cooked.
He's cooked. That's it.
Cooked. So, but other than that, I think overall, though, I'm excited. I haven't gotten to watch Gladstone's press conference yet. Like I said, this week has been a really busy week for me. But everything I've seen so far, the people we've signed, I like them. I will say, though, I think that Luke Farrell could have stayed if we were just going to sign.
They paid him. He got paid too much.
I know he ended up getting too much. I feel like we probably could have worked a deal with him or something before then. But either way, it's not like we made a massive loss. I'm not like crying home about it, but because we kept Brenton Strange. Obviously, Brenton Strange was not a free agent, but I'm glad we didn't try to like move him in some kind of. Yeah, I like Brenton Strange. I'm glad we kept Brenton Strange.
He actually likes Strange, so.
Well, anybody with a set of eyeballs should like Strange. I mean, the intangibles are there, and the kid plays like a fucking dog. He is a dog, dude. Trevor just chucks that bitch up. He's like, I don't even care where I was at. I'm gonna be there. Boom, and just like, that's a dog. I love that guy, man.
Isaiah, we're gonna have to find a sound effect with a dog barking or something. So every time Trevor said, you can hear it.
You know what I'm actually glad about, though? Talking about some stuff that went down today, though. I'm glad that the Cooper Kupp deal fell apart. Hearing how much money that fucker is asking.
How much was he asking?
From what I saw, I saw this once. It was over 25.
Oh, no.
And there ain't no motherfucking way. Now, that doesn't mean that that's absolutely factual. But regardless, you know it's going to be up there. He's talking to 12 different teams. Like, I mean, the money's going to be up there. The most I would have been comfortable paying Kupp, and I mean, absolute max is 20. I mean, and that's still high. And the only reason that's high is because he is injury prone now.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, the max is 20. For me, I'm not going higher than 20.
That much? Good.
I can't find a definite. I just saw it posted that someone heard that's what he was asking. So I mean, it's all speculation for now. But regardless, he lost his motherfucking mind.
Yes.
I mean, my brother in Christ, you have not been the Triple Crown winner for a couple of years.
Like Ridley. See you, dude. It's been nice knowing you. Bye-bye.
Oh, dude, you know what made me laugh so hard? I've told you guys about a buddy of mine I have in the academy with me. We talk sports all the time. He tells me Calvin Ridley was still a dog, and then he brings up catches to targets. And we looked at it. Ridley missed so many fucking catches again this year. I was like, that right there. That's why he's not in Duval. That right there. That's why we did not want to pay him all that motherfucking money. Even though Balky's dumbass tried. He tried to give him that bag of money. But that right there, that's why we are happy he's gone.
Yes.
My boy had, what was it, 6 touchdowns he dropped that year, or 8, 6 or 8. But regardless, I think I'm excited for the draft now, though. I am. I'm very excited for the draft. My personal opinion, I want to make it clear because obviously, I guess it seemed distorted a little bit now. I still want T-Mac. I've been on that train from day one.
I'm with you, Trevor.
As a matter of fact, I think I presented the argument first that you need an elite threat to put on the other side so that they can't hone in on just one.
Right.
They got to respect it all. And I stand on that. That's going to be the way I feel until it's over. Because, I mean, look at the Bengals, man. Obviously, they're in a bit of a different situation because they have no fucking defense. I mean, none. Our defense is bad, but damn. But regardless, I mean, they've got arguably, if Joe Burrow's a playoff appearance away from, he was the MVP this year. I'm just gonna put that out there. I mean, you can argue with your mama. Joe Burrow was him. Don't care. Joe Burrow was dragging him. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were dragging that sorry ass team. Just terrible.
Yeah, that part.
But regardless, you can't stop their offense. Why is that, you may ask? Because they've got 2 badass receivers and you can't double either one of them.
I saw a thing. It says, you know, the Jaguars have a new GM whenever the Jags aren't on this list, and it's the top 10 list of worst free agency contracts so far.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I saw twice that we quote unquote won free agency to this point. We're the biggest winners so far. I think we are. I think we are. And I mean, look at it though. Okay, so you got players that brought in some home run hitters, right? But one player is not going to win you free agency. We've seen that time and time again.
Right.
Okay. But if not us, then who? Who would you say?
New England.
You think New England brought in some motherfuckers that nobody knows for a lot of damn money because they had a lot of damn money.
Well, I mean, we've been that team too.
But that don't win you free agency. That just wins you the total count of how many people you paid.
Who's the coach over there now?
You know who the coach is.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But we know why it happened. But that's why the same thing that happened. I'm not saying Tennessee was Vrabel's fault because it wasn't entirely. But it's going to happen again in New England. They almost made I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, dude. It was like he was a second stringer from fucking Philly. They were about to make him the highest paid in New England's history. My brother in Christ.
Well,
no.
And that's Robert Kraft. That's Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Well, they don't win free agency. No.
Okay. Now I'm just saying what the pundits, a lot of pundits are saying.
What
Denver? You can say Denver did really well.
They did do well.
Yeah.
I still think though. I think we were the best at addressing needs
laterally. When you put it that way, yes, I do agree.
And we didn't break the bank. I think that's what free agency should be about. You address your needs without destroying your capital for you don't mortgage the house to fix the water heater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like we've been doing. Replacing the water heater every year.
Yeah. You don't do that. So I think that being said, I think that's why we won free agency.
Okay.
So
when you place it like that, it's very understandable, and I do agree. I
think it's funny that the Texans are getting Christian Kirk when he's washed already. Love it.
They don't think he washed. Of course, they didn't like Eric Murray either, but we signed him. So
that one. Oh yeah, that's one we need to talk about. Why? I can't really. Yeah, I don't know why.
He graded up better than Cisco, so I mean, it's not like we got worse.
I mean, true. Okay,
Antonio Johnson.
Yeah, he graded way better than Antonio Johnson.
That I can believe, obviously. So I guess it's more or less that I didn't even really think about it from the fact that we can't get worse because they were that bad.
Yeah,
I was thinking of it as if I'm going to pay someone, I want them to be good. Not just a little bit better than the ass we already had.
Hey, a missed tackle here or there makes a whole difference, I guess. I guess he tackles better than those individuals.
Honestly, he would be better if all he did was stand still concrete feet in his zone. At least he's in his spot.
Right.
I mean, hell, that's been our biggest problem. But I like.
But sometimes another man's trash is another man's gold mine. So
yeah, that's true.
hey, maybe it was just a scheme.
Who
And
the,
if you get targeted 8,000 times during the game, yeah, you're gonna give up some stuff because you got to think about the dogs they have at corners. Yeah, he probably was getting targeted a whole lot. But only Curtis can tell us about that. But he's not here now. But anyway, I'm sorry, Isaiah. Go ahead. You was about to say something. Hey, y'all.
Oh no, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just know we're getting up there on time. And old Trev boy said he got a test in the morning.
I do got a test in the morning, but I always get fired up.
You know how it is when we get to talking about football, man.
Football. Yeah.
We lose track of time. But yeah. But it's interesting now, we wait and see and start figuring out who we're gonna draft and are we gonna trade back. And now if Marquis still was in place, I'll say, yeah, we trade back just because. But then again, he wouldn't have made the moves we just made.
Well, how many times? Obviously, Gladstone really didn't have a say in that, I guess.
What?
How many times, whether or not the Rams traded or traded back? I mean, he probably had a small say, but nothing.
Being the GM, I think he would.
And Gladstone, he wasn't the GM over there.
Oh, he wasn't? Where was he?
No, he was a scout. He was a talent evaluator.
Oh, okay.
He was
I thought he was GM or something.
He was the head talent evaluator and the assistant GM, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So I know. Yeah, okay.
Well, if he was assistant GM, I didn't realize he had that part. If he was assistant GM, then
I could be wrong, but that's what I thought. But again, I could be wrong.
But either way, it really doesn't change anything. It comes down to the GM if they want to do it.
Look, I like the first part, talent evaluator.
He's an elite talent evaluator.
Yeah,
just look at the talent. The Rams are stacked.
Yeah,
honestly, I mean they really are.
Right,
they're loaded, dude. I mean,
like crazy.
I mean, Good Buddy has built them a fucking squad, son, and he built it through the draft and Matthew Stafford. I mean,
imagine that. The guy they said was washed up in Detroit. Look at that.
the draft, the NFL draft, and one of the exciting whites, Matthew Stafford.
Hey, that's all it takes sometimes.
Man.
That's all it takes.
Sometimes you'll have that on these bigger jobs, man. I'm telling you. And the fact that he can actually evaluate talent, I'm really excited to see what he does in the draft. I think he's going to be of the same mindset that we are. I really do. I feel like he's going to be like, fuck it, I'm on one. 2 receivers, first round, back to back.
There it is. Hey, before we get out of here, I want to say something, and just my opinion, of course. And I'm sorry, it's not Jag related, but why in the hell do these teams let Aaron Rodgers toy with them every goddamn year? Why? Okay, you want to play these games? I'm going to find me a quarterback. I ain't got time to wait on you. And then next thing you sitting on the couch somewhere. But every year it's the same old thing.
My question was, what the fuck are the Steelers doing? That's my question. They let both of the QBs that push them to the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not bringing them both back. I get that.
Right.
I get that. But you ain't keeping either one of them. Now you ain't got nobody.
I think the door still may be open for Russell.
Russ is already visiting with Cleveland.
He ain't signed no contracts though.
No, but if he goes back at this point, I'd be surprised. I know that Aaron Rodgers emerged as a big name for the Steelers already.
Cleveland going to sign Shane Falco, who played for the Sentinels. He's gonna sign them. So that's
he ain't gonna start.
He ain't gonna start.
No. And Deshaun's already out next season too, pretty much.
Man, that's an issue in itself. But yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like, why do they let Aaron Rodgers do this every year? Come on now.
He just works that he gets their blood pressure up every year.
Every year, it's the same thing. Well, I might retire, I might not. Well, I don't know who I want to go with. Oh, I'm going on vacation right now. I'll talk to y'all when I come back. Now, these teams trying to plan for a draft, but they ain't even got a damn quarterback.
Something you talk about.
You know what I mean? So
if we were going to pay Eric Murray, why the fuck didn't we pay Javon Holland? Because Javon Holland did not get no stupid amount of money.
Javon Holland got like 4 times what Eric Murray makes in a season.
Yeah, I'm sure in comparison, but I'm talking because they're not the same player comparatively.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
if for what Javon Holland brings to a team, Javon Holland was not, from what I understood, he did not get some like massive bank breaking bag.
he got literally double what Eric Murray got.
Yeah, but he's double the player with
Actually, more than double. He's guaranteed $17 million more than
Right.
Eric Murray. I mean, he gave him a big contract.
Yeah, but he's also guaranteed to be good.
But it may not benefit for the defense either, Trevor.
I mean, that's true. We don't know what defense we're going to run this year. We really don't.
Exactly. But the defensive
That
coordinator
agree
does.
with. Yeah, no, of course. I'd hope so.
You know, we got this idiot from last year. But yeah.
Yeah, Teal Taliban said the Browns traded for Kenny Pickett. Yeah, they did. I think Kenny is going to be a backup. I don't think, bro, after Kenny flat out fucking chucked a football and then still fell forward with the football stuck to his hand, ain't no way.
Man, I was bowling when I saw that. I just fell out laughing. I said, yep, the Browns going to be the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns traded for him. They might start Kenny, I guess, until Deshaun's healthy for 5 more minutes.
Deshaun's done. They just can't. The cap hit is just too much for them right now. But Deshaun's done in Cleveland.
Dude, the way they keep restructuring his contract is nuts.
You heard the contract they paid him, right?
Yeah, I know. The contract was nuts. They freed like 30-something million a few days ago off of his contract. I'm like, oh my.
That is just crazy.
Ridiculous. You want to know something, though? I've seen us talking about it in the group chats, and I still have the same question. How the fuck are the Saints paying anybody?
Technically, they have until June 1st to have their cap completely set up. So technically speaking, they can do some restructures and other stuff.
Right.
That motherfucker better get to work. he got work to do. They were in the negative before they signed the last guy.
I mean, you do realize though, that the past 2 seasons, the past 3 seasons, they've been negative $75 million before the season started.
Yeah, and somehow they always
they were only negative. They were only negative like $12 million this year. So they did something better.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons no coach will ever be successful there.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have actually looked at the numbers for that.
Oh yeah,
Derek Carr's contract is bad.
It's
bad.
Bad.
It is very bad. Yeah. So I want to ask you guys this question before we hop off too. So I was kind of talking about this the other night. ETN has a good year this year. You pay him?
No,
you don't think so?
Yeah, no. That's kind of hard for me right now. Depending on what kind of year you have. No, I wouldn't.
I don't think ETN is. I don't think ETN is good enough to re-sign him if he doesn't take like an absolute bargain. Now he could prove me wrong this year and he could have a great season, but like he just can't stay on the field. He's not what's his name? He's not Saquon. He's not Nick Chubb. Like he's not one of those guys. And I like ETN a lot. I think he's a good dude. He's a funny player. Like he's a good sportsman and everything, but that's not a reason to pay somebody a lot of money.
Yeah. He was like James Robinson was.
Now,
or Leonard Fournette was.
Well, look, I've said this quite often, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I think when Trevor got here, ETN got here, he was the best thing we had back there at the time, right? So they used him as the first down back. But now that we have Tank, I think ETN becomes a better option as a third down back, catching it out the backfield. I really do. Because he excels at that kind of stuff, right? Now, we got a whole offensive line, so maybe
that's what I was about to say.
His totals will come up now. But I still think Tank is the meaner, the harder runner.
He is.
You know what I mean? And he does see the holes. To me, he sees the holes a lot better than ETN.
I think
so I think he'll be better as the third down back. So it depends on the system that's being run and how they're going to use him.
I think there's a very good chance If it presents itself in like the 4th round or the late 3rd round, we're probably going to take RJ Harvey at a UCF.
Yeah,
and either make a move from ETN before the season or give him one more year, let Harvey kind of get some reps in there, and then move on from ETN and have it be a tank Harvey 1-2 punch, tank up the middle and Harvey out the sides.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I still say let's put a fullback back there, man. Oh yes, I love that kind of football, but they ain't gonna do it.
Good old Tommy Bohannon, Mr. Underrated.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it, but it don't hurt me to wish. It doesn't hurt me to wish. But yeah, but so far I'm good, man. I'm excited, but it's kind of a tempered excitement to see where we're going.
Oh, I have very tempered excitement this time.
Up to the draft. And after the draft, I think I have a better view of what this regime is trying to do. You know, so.
Well,
honestly, I don't even think I have to envision what Gladstone's trying to do. Gladstone said what he was going to do, and then he actually did to a T what he said he was going to do. Now I believe that I can trust what he says for now. So the fact that he said we're going to build the trenches, I believe that, which is why I said I think the T-Mac thing is lowered. Not gone, but I think it's lowered. He said we're going to build the trenches, both sides of the ball. He built the offensive line already. He's not done with it, I'm sure, but he built that already. He ain't done a fuck thing on the other side. And Mason Graham is there. Mason Graham is going to be a fucking monster. It would make sense that he takes him as well. I think it's a 50-50 from our standpoint. His standpoint, he's probably already locked in. He probably already knows
who it is.
Yeah. But for us, I mean, it could go either way.
Okay.
I know he sees the value in T-Mac and the ability to have that playmaker to take some pressure off Brian. But I also know that he said we're building the trenches, and so far he did exactly what he said he's going to do, and he's still got time left to keep going. So I think we could go either way.
Okay. I still go T-Mac, but I understand what you're saying. Okay, we done.
I still prefer T-Mac, but Duval.
Duval! Don't you do it. Okay.
Don't fucking do it.
Don't you do
They did good this week. Don't do it.
Don't you do that.
Don't you do that. Don't you put that bad juju on me, Ricky Bobby.
All right, I'm ending it. Wait, did it not do the thing?
No, it did not do the thing.
He said, do the roar.
Duval.